So with UV, we cannot predict even the function group which is present in the isolated compounds. So next we go for IR spectroscopy. IR spectroscopy, as we know, it is mainly used to determine the function group which is present in the isolated compounds. And the next one is 1D and 2D NMR spectroscopy. So here we can identify or determine how many hydrogens are present, and determine the types of protons, and determine the location of protons, and also you can determine how many carbons are present in the active molecules. So those information we can get it. And 2D NMR, like homocoursy and heterocoursy, we can further do confirmation. And at last we go for mass spectroscopy to determine the molecular formula and molecular weight of the isolated compound. This is what we have been practiced. So after the isolation, then what we do, we go for in vitro studies. Similarly, like those are not isolating, just they directly do the in vitro and in vivo studies by using their extract. So this is what we currently practice. So my topic of presentation is what is the recent techniques, how we can minimize the cost and how we can get the efficient result. That only I'm going to highlight today. So normally in the drug discovery process, every day there are hundred thousands of molecules are tested and experimentally screened, either for biological properties or pharmacological properties. So cost of this screening is very expensive, and discovering a new drugs is becoming complex and time consuming. So we need to optimize all the steps. So what are the steps that we have been discussed? Until isolation, there is no changes. So currently, whatever we have been practiced, so that is there is no update. Exactly, we are following the same methods since ancient times and recent 10 years. And only the isolation, we started up using some machinery items like some equipment like flash chromatography. So that is the only changes. So up to that, whatever we have been done previously, the same method only we are following. But what we need to do after the isolation and characterization, so what we need to do, we need to optimize some steps in the drug development process, especially drugs derived from natural products. So today I'm going to highlight two very important studies, which is currently in practice for the natural product research. The first one is in silico studies. So in silico study means it is not like in vitro or in vivo studies. So this study is totally different from animal models. So here we can predict the biological and pharmacological activities of the isolated compound as well as the medicinal plant extract without using experimental animals. So without using experimental animals or chemicals, just we can predict the pharmacological activity of the plant material as well as the isolated compounds. And we can do the comparison also, how the plant material is efficient in biological activity and what may be the constants which are presented. So many data and results you get it from in silico studies. So in silico studies, there are mainly 4 steps are involved in silico studies. So, so the first step is to confirm the research significance of the medicinal plants. So you, for example, there are 3 types of medicinal plants. One, the common medicinal plants with more complex mechanism than the other herbs, means already established with so many pharmacological activities. That is one type. The second type is the medicinal plants having a long history of traditional usage, but not been tested for many pharmacological activities. So one is already existing medicinal plants, means they might be done so many pharmacological, like curcuma longa, you can take an example. Curcuma longa, the active constant is curcumin. Lot of study has been done. So that comes under in the first category. The second category is some medicinal plants, they might be done some pharmacological studies, not completely established. And third category of medicinal plant is something, a history of traditional usage, but with a new utilization, means that traditionally they might be reported, it has been used for many pharmacological studies or biological properties, but not been tested properly. So we need to select the medicinal plants according to these 3 categories. Then the second step, what we need to do, second step is the organization and collection of natural products to construct these natural product database. So here what we do, the pre-treatment of these compounds, including drug-like analysis, like ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion, and prediction and exclusion of false positive compounds. And the third step, what we do is the core technique of this methodology and the in silico virtual screening. This one, the third step. So here, what we do, there are three different theories that we have been followed for this virtual screening. So this is one of the important step in the in silico studies. So the first step, what we do in the third step, virtual target fishing based on pharmacophore 3, the first step. Then dual validation based on small molecule shapes, similarity theory. Then compound targets analysis based on docking. So docking accurate verification will be done. This all will be done by the computer software. So there is no chemicals or no animals are involved in these kind of studies. So then the last step, the final step, what we do, the last step is the analysis of the set of target analysis. So we can analyze the relationship between the similarity pathways, pathological pathways, then and related to disease and potential target. This is what we do in the final step. So finally, we can construct the network relationship among medicinal plants, natural products, and also the biological targets, signaling pathways, and diseases. So based on these information, we can elucidate the mechanistic basis of the effect of the natural compounds in medicinal plants and predicted potential pharmacological activities. So after completion of these 4 steps, we can predict the pharmacological activities of the medicinal plant and isolated compound. And we can also analyze the relationship of signaling pathways, pathological pathways, and related disease with potential targets that can be determined by using in silico studies. So many researchers, they started off following this one. Instead of doing in vitro studies and in vivo studies, we need to spend a lot of money and we need to spend much more time also to get the results. So this study will be more helpful for the future, those are doing in natural product research. So this is something like computer-based modeling applied in drug discovery process. So here we increase the number of database in order to reduce the number of biological tests. And we use the drug ability law, something Lipinski rule of 5. So this everybody knows. Lipinski rule of 5 means the compound which is supposed to be the molecular weight of the compound supposed to be less than 500, and the log p value that means log p value is supposed to be partition coefficient value supposed to be less than 5, and the number of hydrogen bonding acceptors should be less than 10 and donors should be less than 5, and the number of rotatable bonds which are supposed to be less than 10. This is the Lipinski rule of 5. So here the computer, the database will predict whether that particular compound will fit into this Lipinski rule of 5. So based on this, we can predict the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties. So pharmacokinetic, you know what the drug does, what the body does to the drug, and pharmacodynamic is what the drug does to the body. So these are all the, based on the this one structure of the molecule, we can predict PK/PD studies. So and by using having specific database for a class of target and have a predictive binding modes of the molecule within the targets. So normally in the medicinal chemistry, we use computer-aided drug design for the synthetic product or synthesized compounds. So similarly, for now natural products, this is one of the main important study has been conducted by many researchers, and they got the successful and very predominant results. And when they do comparison with some studies, the results that is obtained from in silico studies are highly reliable. So, so you can conduct this kind of studies in the laboratory. So proper estimation of drug likeness, features, and profiling of potential toxicity. So based on this one, not only the pharmacological studies, we can identify and determine the toxicity profile of the isolated compound. And we also find the binding energy scores and its non-toxic attributes. And in silico studies of natural products strengthen the drug development platform. So this is one of the, not totally new. It is recently, in the recent 5 years, I think many researchers are there doing in silico studies. But some of them still not aware of this technique. So these techniques will give the predominant results about the pharmacological activity of the isolated compound and also about the plant material. And the second important study which I want to highlight is metabolomic studies. So metabolomic studies, the name itself, we can predict this is more related to metabolism because metabolism plays a major role in the elimination process. So after the metabolism, elimination. So, so the metabolite product supposed to be hydrophilic in nature, and it is supposed to be little bit easy to excreted through urine. If it is not excreted through urine, what will happen? So the metabolites will be maybe it is a fatty material, so that will be stable in the body, and later that may produce some kind of toxicity effect. So what we do in the metabolomic studies, we identify what is a metabolite of the particular isolated compound from the medicinal plant. So based on this, we can predict the toxicity profile. So the previous one in silico studies, you can predict the pharmacological studies and toxicity profile. But here in the metabolic studies, mainly used to predict the metabolites. And you can quantitatively, you can analyze all the metabolites which are present in the natural products. And this one will give some kind of profiling like drug abilities, which including metabolites derived from natural products, and what are the metabolic changes induced by the natural products, and toxicity related natural product exposure. So this study has been conducted by using LC-MS. So here we can predict the metabolomics, the metabolites of the particular compound. So LC-MS has a great potential in the drug ability of natural products. So the application of metabolomics should be broadened in the field of natural products in the future. So here we can, this is one of the powerful technology for the investigation of xenobiotic induced toxicity, because whenever we talk about the drug development, so even your compound or maybe either maybe natural product or maybe the synthesized compound may be highly effective, but because of the toxicity at the end stage, that will be that will not move to the next step in the drug discovery process. So here, based on the metabolomic studies, we can predict the toxicity before when we go and do some kind of studies in the clinical side. So these are the preclinical data which are mainly obtained from the studies. So metabolomics has the potential to make powerful impact in the preclinical drug development studies, including identification of new targets, elucidation of the mechanism of action of new drugs, and also mainly used in the development of safety and efficacy profile. And we can also predict the ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of the new drugs. So more importantly, toxicity is a leading cause of attrition at all stages of drug development process. So metabolic profiling has the potential to identify the toxicity early in the drug discovery process, which can save time and money for pharmaceutical companies. Even many pharmaceutical companies now, they started off following metabolomic studies by using LC-MS. So instead of spending a lot of money to do in vitro studies by using some chemicals and cell lines, as well as in vivo studies by using animal models, so we can prefer to go for in silico studies and metabolomic studies to predict the preclinical related data, especially the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamic related data. So these two are the recent studies that are undergoing for the natural products. So next one, actually my presentation I made up of two parts. The first part is more related to research, that what I have been covered right now. So next I am going to discuss more about innovations. So in any countries, the development of a nation is not only depends on research. So innovation also plays a major role in the economical development of any nation. So, so in my presentation of this particular part, I'm going to highlight some innovations, especially which are made up of natural products. So this one definitely will give some kind of information, and based on this information, maybe later we can plan to convert the research related materials into a prototype. So here more we are going to discuss about research and innovation. So we must know what is the difference between research and innovation. Research means something we are continuing the study which has been done by the earlier researchers. So it is already existing technology. Innovation means something new techniques which we follow, and it is something like a prototype. New ideas can be converted into a prototype, and that is supposed to be in the commercialized form. Not only the ideas is not considered as a innovation. So the ideas you need to convert into a invention, and after that invention, then you need to convert into a prototype. So after prototype, you need to go for the commercialization stage. So that time only it is called as innovative product. But research is a component of innovation, and it is situated at the front end of the innovation cycle. So research also very important. So based on some research information only, you can select something for doing innovation of natural products. And coming to the career opportunities of our pharmacists. So normally our pharmacists, they prefer to go work in community pharmacy, like in retail pharmacy, or they prefer to work in hospital as a hospital pharmacist, and in the academic as academicians. Then industry, they do manufacturing, production, quality assurance, quality control, and they do more related to R&D related research and development. But there is one more important opportunities for our pharmacists is entrepreneurship. So we are making the students more to search for job. That is what we have been discussed in the previous 5 job opportunities. But entrepreneurship means we are making our students to become a business person. So when they do innovation, automatically they get some ideas how they can produce some product which are related to their pharmacy background, and how they can make it into a commercialized form. So that is what we need to practice to the students. So within pharmacy education, entrepreneurship has been identified as a key factor driving innovation in pharmacy practice and education. So how we can move from normal traditional research to innovation. So here I'm not going to much talk about the how we can convert more about the basic of innovation. So I'm going to discuss and show some medicinal, some product which has been made up of by undergraduate students. So this will enlighten you to do more innovative products in future. So the first product which I am going to highlight is natural ultrasound gel. So normally, ultrasound gel is mainly used as a conductive medium that enables a tight bond between the skin and probe or transducer. So the demand for ultrasound gel is due to its wide range of applications. So this ultrasound gel is mainly used for to take the ultrasound images. It is one of the conductive medium between the ultrasound machine, the ultrasound probe, and the skin part. So this is very important. So, and this can be used also in the ECG recording. So before, when they use ECG recording, they put some kind of gel, right? So that gel can be replaced with our innovative gel. So how, why we come up with this gel is, what is a problem present in the currently available ultrasound gel. The currently available ultrasound gel containing carbapol R940 polymer and some synthetic chemicals which are allergic and expensive also. So that is the reason we come up with a new product which is made up of natural source. And one more thing, we didn't commercialize this product, and this product is mainly for those clinics located in low resource areas, something like in the village, for example, some small clinic, they might be having ultrasound machine, but they don't have ultrasound gel to perform the ultrasound images, and also to take the ECG recording. So what they can do, so based on our procedure, our formula, they can prepare on their own ultrasound gel, and they can take the ultrasound images. So what we have been used in this innovative product is, we just simply use the plant starch, which is mainly obtained from plant seeds, and we also used cornstarch and potato starch also as an alternative for this ultrasound gel preparation. So, and we also added one more ingredient, that is aloe vera gel, to improve the gel properties into the ultrasound gel that we have been prepared. So this formulated gel can be used to get quality ultrasound images, and also for the physiotherapy treatment, because normally in the physiotherapy treatment, to reduce pain, normally they put ultrasound, they do ultrasound. So when for that they need some kind of gel to have a contact medium between the skin and the probe of ultrasound. So those people also, they can use our ultrasound gel, and that can be used as a treatment, especially for the physiotherapy treatment. So what we recommended from this product is, So, so this product can be prepared in clinic and hospital and used in day-to-day practice to get better results. So if somebody is having don't have ultrasound gel, so they can prepare on their own by using our formula, and that can be replaced for the currently available ultrasound gel. And the beauty of this product is this product not only giving a low cost product, it is also given quality of images. The quality of images is higher when compared to the existing product which is available in the market. And this product is prepared by our undergraduate student, not postgraduate student. This has been done by Bachelor of Pharmacy student. And one more, the second innovative product which was done by my student. This is something different from the pharmacy related product. So this one is we come up with a fingerprint powder which is used for the crime scene investigation. So to analyze the fingerprint. Okay. So this one, the commercially available fingerprint powder, which are toxic to the forensic officer and also toxic to the environment, because normally we use titanium oxide or maybe the lead powder as a fingerprint powder to analyze the fingerprint. But we come up with the alternative fingerprint powder, which is made up of durian seeds. So this is the durian seeds, which is obtained from durian fruits. Here in Malaysia, this is one of the famous fruit. Here it is called as it is a king of fruit, which is containing the white part and also the seeds. Also, it is one of the waste product. So what we have done, we converted this into a product type. So we grinded into a fine powder form, and we have used sieve to get the fine powder of this seed powder, and this has been used as a alternative powder to determine or to identify the fingerprint in the crime scene investigation. And from this, what we got better visualization when compared to the existing product which is available in the market. So something we can practice to the student. It is not the pharmacy student means they need to do only they do the pharmacy related research or innovation. We can focus something which is useful to the public as well as to the society. Still, that is considered as a innovative product. Okay. So, so the advantages of this product is, so this is obtained from the waste material, that is seeds of plant material, and here we haven't used any synthetic chemicals along with that durian seed powder. So here we use only the seed powder. So it is non-toxic and safe and better visualization of fingerprints. And the next one, I think this one might be somebody knows already. So about this product. So this one is it is obtained from red cabbage. Red cabbage is containing anthocyanin, which can change the color depending on the acidity of its environment. So this one has been extracted, and this will give different color changes. Like something like when you do test with pH meter or pH paper. So instead of that, you can use this as a one of the alternative material to detect the pH of any type of solutions. Something like uric acid for the gout patients. This can be used as a one of the alternative method to determine the pH of the urine sample as well. And this one, the another product is encapsulated soft gelatin capsule for pharmaceutical and nutraceutical applications. So normally this gelatin capsule is made up of some mainly made up of by gelatin, but here we come up with the innovator is come up with the alternative way to produce soft gelatin capsule. So here they use 3 ingredients, especially honey, olive oil, and black seed oil. And these 3 are not toxic because this is edible. Normally we take and we use it regularly. Even olive oil, we use it for cooking purpose. Black seed oil also, we use it. And trigona honey, we know honey, it is edible and there is no toxicity present in the honey. So these 3 has been used as to prepare the soft gelatin capsules. And another one is scaffolds from seaweed, that is cockle shell powder for bone tissue engineering. Normally, currently, what we practice, we use ceramic scaffold. Ceramic only we use it to make it this kind of tissue engineering purpose. But the researchers there to come up with the alternative product based on the natural source. that is especially cockle shell powder, and also the this one seaweed. So it possesses desired strength, flexibility, and porosity. This has given better results when compared to the existing one. And the next one, this is something more related to the biotechnology and also the pharmacy background people who are all is doing some measurement of zone of inhibition of antimicrobial studies. So normally for the antimicrobial studies, we need to determine the zone of inhibition by using Vernier scale. So that is what we practice currently. Now we have the kit which can be used. Just you need to put uh, the petri dish which you have been performed the antibacterial studies. Just that automatically will analyze and that will give the exact reading of the zone of inhibition, and also that will do automatic comparison with the standards which is already put in the software. So this is the what currently practiced in some institution as well as in the industries as well. So this kind of innovative product only that we are expecting from our students. So we need to be innovative. This is currently what we do in the laboratory. We do measurement manually. There is a high chance to get some kind of error, and we don't have much database to compare with the antibiotics, standard antibiotics. So this will give solution to get the better result of the zone of inhibition when you perform the antimicrobial studies. And the next one, this is a rapid detection of MRSA, that is methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus. So normally it takes long time to predict the MRSA, but the newly developed method we can predict within 5 hours with high sensitivity, specificity, and lower detection limit, which help in reducing nosocomial infection. So some infections which can be detected based on the MRSA, this one, methicillin and vancomycin resistant Staphylococcus aureus. So this kit can be used in ordinary hospital labs. It is not very expensive, so which can be used simply in the normal hospital as well. And this one, I think most of them might be known about this one. So normally the vein detection to put any kind of injection, or maybe when they want to withdraw blood from the patients. So normally it is one of the difficult tasks for the nursing people. So this smart vein locator is detect the vein, exactly which vein is more comfortable to take to withdraw the blood, or maybe to put the injection. So that can be determined by using this technique. So this is also done by some of the students. So this way we have to be innovative. Sometimes this product is, you may think it is not related to pharmacy. Why we should do this kind of innovative product? Well, because pharmacist means we are telling we are more patient care. So patient care means this also is considered as one of the patient care, especially those are doing research and innovation on pharmacy practice or clinical pharmacies. So they can plan some kind of innovative product, something like this. So this will be more beneficial to the patient and also to the doctors as well as to the nurses. We are helping many communities, which healthcare communities. So that is why the innovation is very important. And the next one is TB NanoSense test kit to determine or to detect Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And oral HPV 16 lamp kit, this can be used for overall papillovirus. So this all nowadays the test kit is very famous. Even now COVID-19 also PCR analysis will take a lot of time. So nowadays people are preferring to go for test kit. And initially what we have done, we purchased from other countries because we have the source, we have the lot of researchers and innovators in our country, but we are not doing this kind of innovations. We are depending on other countries. So other country people just they like that. Like for example, China, they developed the COVID-19 test kit and they sold out in many countries. But recently they found out that is not effective. So now I think in ICMR is come up with a new product. So that is why we have to be innovative in a faster manner, not at the end stage. So if you find any kind of diseases, so how we can detect that particular disease or infections. So we need to come up with a new innovative product to determine or detect the infections, especially like now COVID-19. Everyone is looking for rapid test kit detector. So this is what we need to practice to the students. Instead of every time we are focusing on more on research. So instead of research, at least some of the students, example, if the 50 students are doing research, at least 5 students from among the 10% of the students, they can go for and producing some innovative product like this. So that will be more beneficial to the public. So, and one is another one is home care uric acid reader. It is mainly used for the gout patients to determine the uric acid level on daily basis. And this is the test kit for the leptospirosis. Leptospirosis, I think it is very famous in some Asian countries, especially in Malaysia and neighbor countries like Thailand and Indonesia. So leptospirosis is the infections uh, from mainly from water and soil. Uh, from the animals, from the affected animals' urine. Normally, that will spread to the human being. So, initially they find some difficulties to detect this leptospirosis. Now we have a test kit to determine immediately, and we can get the results in 15 minutes of time. But previously, what we do, we need to take the sample, either blood sample or urine sample from the patient, and it is supposed to be sent to the laboratory. And laboratory they do testing, then after testing, then only we get the results. Now we have the test kit to determine uh, whether it is positive or not immediately within 15 minutes. Similarly, dengue fever also we have now a test kit to determine within for 10 minutes you can determine whether the patient is affected by dengue fever. And this is one of the famous product. So normally for the pregnancy woman, vomiting is a very common symptoms. So normally the doctor they prescribe medicine to avoid nausea and vomiting. So here this is one of the honey which is mainly obtained from. It is one of the variety obtained from Indonesia. So this has been used for to reduce nausea and vomiting. And this is another one important product, that is Emo cookies. So Emo cookies is made up of egg cells and Moringa oleifera, because our children normally they don't take herbal product, so they try to avoid most of the time, but they like cookies. So how the innovators think about, so in the cookies they included some kind of herbal plant material, and also this one is included egg shell also. So egg shell is containing 94% calcium carbonate, so which will give bone strength to the children's, and it is containing 1% potassium phosphate and 1% magnesium carbonate. So I'm not going to tell about the procedure how we have been made it. So based on this information, I think you can get some idea how you can make a product based on the research that you have been conducted earlier. And this also is a chocolate. Chocolate is containing some kind of vegetables and herbal materials. And herbal ice cream, which is containing herbal medicinal plants, and also some active ingredients like antioxidant are present. So this is for especially for the diabetic patients. So those are willing to take ice cream, but they cannot take it. So they can use this herbal ice cream, which can give two beneficial, because it can cure the diabetes as well as they can take the ice cream, because normal ice cream which is containing sugar, so which they should not take it. So this one, they can enjoy the ice cream, along with that they get some kind of treatment as well. This is very interesting natural product. This is a calm pillow, so which can release that stress. So normally pillow means we put some kind of cotton inside the pillow material, and that has been practiced. Now innovators they come up with a plant material instead of put the cotton material inside the pillow. So this can give. This is containing Vitex nogundo leaves, which is called nochi leaves, which can give some kind of. It is a stress relieving leaf actually. So when you sleep by using this kind of pillow, so you can feel some kind of relaxation, better relaxation when compared to the commercially available pillow. And along with that, the innovator what they think about, they also included some kind of music and massager also to get more customers to because customer satisfaction is very important. If you tell them just only it is containing plant material, they don't buy. So you need to make it something attractive and which can give beneficial to the customer, so that automatically the people will be started of buying this kind of product. And another one is Corsa gel. It is mainly used to heal diabetic foot ulcers, and this has been made up of waste material of the corn. So normally the silk part of the corn, normally what we do, we just throw it. So that can be converted into a product, and this given better effective for the foot ulcers, especially for the diabetic patients. And we know the this one mosquito repellent liquid normally made up of chemicals, and this has been made up of Lactanthus ammonicus. And this plant is material is available in every home. I think most of the home, this is one of the planted one in most of the homes. So this has been converted into a prototype. So this everybody knows this will give some kind of effort to avoid mosquitoes. So, but we come up with the researchers, they come up with the prototype with the liquidator. Similarly, mosquito repellent spray, which is containing some natural ingredients. So this can prevent mosquito bite and keep us safe from mosquitoes. And cervix randu honey to treat cervical cancer. So this honey also mainly obtained from Indonesia, and this honey has been already proven that this can be used for the cervical cancer, which is containing many flavonoids. Okay. And food freshness sensitive device. So this device can detect the contaminated food. So this will give some kind of alarm that your food is contaminated and no more to use it. So this one definitely we cannot make it this kind of device. So we need some kind of collaboration with engineering people. Engineering people, they know how to make device, but they don't have an idea what type of device that they can prepare. So what as a pharmacist we need to do, we need to give idea to the engineers, and with the help of them we can come up with a new device. Similarly, like mobile apps, nowadays so many apps are available for the patient care. So this all not done by only by the pharmacist. So interdisciplinary collaboration is very, very important. So we pharmacists normally we do collaboration with only the pharmacy people. We are not normally collaborating with the engineering people. So based on these ideas and innovative products, maybe in future you need to collaborate with the engineering and also other arts and science, even other health related programs like medical doctors. So you can ask them what is the problems that they are facing. So once you come to know what is the problem that they are facing when they do some kind of studies, so automatically you can think about alternative product, how we can solve that particular problem. So this is another one of the very interesting product, that is Nochi patch. Nochi patch is containing Nochi leaves. So these leaves are traditionally used for the treatment of headache and also for the cough and cold. So normally we use it. This what we do in the village side. What they do, just they take the Nochi leaves, they make it as an extract type, and they put it in the hot water, and they breathe the vapors which they get it from the that particular extract. So that is what they practice. But if you tell to the people who is in the city or in the town side, they don't prefer to, and it is very difficult to get Nochi leaves for them. So what the idea they get it from the innovator is they want to convert into a prototype. So, so what they did is they come up with a head patch. It is something like a patch type which if you put it in the head, that automatically relieve headache. So that is what we need to practice. We know how to, we know the medicinal importance of all the medicinal plants, but we are not making into a prototype. And we know how to, some people, they know how to make it as a prototype, but you need to make it as a something attractive and customer satisfaction product. Okay, if you just sell it extract or just sell it the leaves product, normally the people, they don't prefer to buy. They want something like this, like patch type. So we need to be innovative when we prepare the material for our container to put our product as well. And this is the hand sanitizer, which is mainly prepared by the basil leaves. And this one is wound healing ointment from Chromalena odorata leaves and olive oil. And this one is sugar. So this one papaya extract has been concentrated and made it into something like solid brown sugar type, and this has been as an alternative for the sugar, especially for the diabetic patients. This can be used. And the Boscom is a banana skin ointment which can be used to remove scars in skin. Normally, the banana peels we used to throw it after eating banana. So this banana peels having many medicinal ingredients which is present in that. Especially that can be used for the treatment of many kind of bacterial infections. So what the innovators they did, they come up with the product and uh, they make it as an extract, and that has been used as one of the ingredients when they prepare as an ointment. And Evaco gel is mainly made up of from rambutan peels, which is to prevent dental plaque and teeth. And this is a medicated eyeliner. It is mainly useful as it can improve patients' compliance with ophthalmic medications. So this eyeliners is not containing the cosmetic eyeliner. It is not. It is different from cosmetic eyeliner. So this one is containing medications, especially ophthalmic medications, which can be used for the patients. So greatly reduces the need of clean and reapply, as well as reducing the risk of infections. Because normally when you put eye drops or any kind of eye ointment, we just normally apply by using our fingers. So that may give some kind of infection as well. So this eyeliner, we can, this medicated eyeliners can reduce the risk of infections. So next, I'm going to talk about some innovations in the cosmetics. So cosmetics, including creams, lipstick, perfumes, eyeshadow, nail polish. So every one of us using at least one cosmetic product in every day. So that has been practiced, and now the expenses of the cosmetic product is too high when compared to the grocery expenses of every home. So this product is going to be a very huge market in future. Even currently, it is one of the huge market, and even in future, after 4 5 years, many people they prefer to go for cosmetic product, especially made up of natural products. So when you look at the cosmetic industry, the market value, which was the survey was taken in 2018, which showed 700 billion US dollars, which is more when compared to the nutraceuticals. Nutraceutical is mainly the health supplements, which is giving health benefits. The market value is only 175 billion. It is 4 times higher the cosmetic product, because the cosmetic product usage is very high when compared to the nutraceutical product. So that is why now people are turned to make some companies which are cosmetic related companies, cosmetic product manufacturing companies. So in some future, in some researchers, those are especially interested in the natural product research, they can make some cosmetic products which can be used to the public. So this is some of the product which is made up of by innovators. So this is a citrus passion soap, which is made up of citrus hystrix leaf oil extract and sodium hydroxide, and aloe vera is one of the main ingredients. So when you look at the marketly available cosmetic product, you can see aloe vera gel is one of the main ingredients which are present. But we are not converted into a product. Aloe vera gel, we know it is used for many medicinal purposes, and even it has been used for cosmetic purpose, but we are not converting into a product. Instead of that, whatever the research we do, we give some information to others. So other country people, what they do, they get information from our research material and they use it into their product, and they get money from the product. So and the next one is anti-aging cream, which is made up of basil leaves, because it is containing more antioxidant constituents. And this product is very interesting product, which is Miracle Eye Cool Pack, which is containing some vegetables and herbal plants inside the mask, containing tea powder, peel cucumber, carrot, and aloe vera gel powder. So which can give some kind of health benefits uh, to the public and the customers. And this one is a healing herb cream, which is made up of turmeric, aloe vera, and guava leaves, and also neem leaves also included in this preparation. We know neem leaves, turmeric, guava leaves. These all aloe vera. These all most of the time we use for many formulations, and we know the importance of these medicinal plants. but we must know how to make it into a prototype, and how we can, once you make it into a prototype, you must know how to make it commercialize also. That also very important, because you some people, they know how to make product, but they don't know how to make it into a attractive prototype. So if there is no attraction, and if there is no it is not put in the suitable container, so definitely the people, they don't buy. So that is what we need to be innovative in all the time. And this one is Medi Aloe soap, which is made up of 4 ingredients, including cinnamomum verum, rosemary officinalis, aloe vera, and coconut oil. And this is one of the recent innovative product, but this one is not currently available in the market. But this one is a 3D printed skincare product. So this is a 3D printed mask. So a normal mask which is available in the market, only one ingredient or group of ingredients which is present in all part of the particular mask. But the beauty of this mask is different place of the mask and different location of the mask, we can put different ingredients. So that will give some kind of different beneficial effect to the face. So in the cheeks area will give different ingredients, and the head, the forehead area will be different ingredients, and the bottom of the lips, that also we can give some different ingredients. So it will give different benefit to the customers. So the 3D printed face mask that is customized to fit both your face shape as and also its skin concerns. The another one important product is microneedle patches. So this microneedle patches is containing hyaluronic acid, which is obtained from natural source, and even some natural ingredients also can be replaced for hyaluronic acid. So this is also one of the ingredient innovative product. So instead of giving normal facial cream or maybe lotion or ointment, this is a kind of uh, patches, something like band-aid type. And normally any cosmetic product we use retinol as one of the ingredient. Now we have been changed to bakuchiol, which is mainly obtained from Soralia coralifolia. This plant is mainly available in China and India, but in China they come up with this product, and they come to know the active ingredient which is present in this plant, that is bakuchiol. So this has been replaced as a replaced for retinol, because retinol will give some kind of toxic effect, and also give, it is not suitable for many skin types, because that gives some kind of redness and irritancy to the skin. But bakuchiol overcome those disadvantages which is produced by retinol. So many cosmetic ingredients now they are started off using bakuchiol as one of the main ingredients, because this is having antioxidant, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory properties. It is suitable for most skin types, and also has benefits that extend for beyond a renewed glow. And another one is CBD oil, that is cannabis oil, which is mainly obtained from cannabis sativa. So this is also one of the active ingredients nowadays present in the cosmetic products. So what we have done, we do more research on this isolated compound. We do more research on the medicinal plant extract, but we are not converting into a product. So what other people, they get it information from the research papers that we produce, and they come up with this kind of product. So this product is mainly used to treat dry skin, psoriasis, and eczema, because it is containing anti-inflammatory properties. And another one is polyhydroxy acid. So normally we use alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid as one of the ingredient in some cosmetic product, but now they change to polyhydroxy acid, which is obtained from the plant material avocado. So this gave better effect when compared to the alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid. So next, what I'm going to show some important medicinal plants which has been used for many cosmetic formulations. But this, for example, if after my presentation, maybe after a few days, if you are interested to do some kind of innovative product by using natural source, so you can use this medicinal plant as one of the ingredient according to what type of that product that you are producing. Either you are producing anti-aging cream or anti-inflammatory or analgesic type of cream, something like that. So depends on that, you can choose the ingredients. So aloe vera is one of the main ingredients that are mainly present in many cosmetic products, because it is a natural moisturizer and skin smoother. and also wrinkle reducer, and also it is mainly used for the treatment of acne like pimples. And curcumin, we did lot of studies on curcumalanga and curcumin, but that has been used as one of the main ingredient in the cosmetic product. It is mainly beneficial in reducing unnecessary facial hair growth and reducing acne formation and improving skin complexion. These are all the main important properties of curcuma longa. And Cocos nucifera, we know coconut oil. So coconut oil can be used in the preparation of massage oil and soap preparation. And cucumber can be used in the preparation of some kind of cosmetic formulations, especially to treat which is for the soothing of skin irritation from sun exposure. And tea tree oil is mainly used in lip balm preparation and lipsticks. This is one of the main ingredient. And Punica granatum, that is pomegranate. The peels of pomegranate is mainly used because the active constituents are highly antioxidant and which can repair skin problems and which can produce skin whitening as well. So, but we don't have product which is mainly made up of pomegranate. So what researchers or the innovators we need to think about when you do cosmetic formulation, we can use this kind of plant material as one of the ingredient. Then carica papaya, which also having antioxidant and antibacterial properties along with anti-inflammatory. So this can be used in treating many skin problems such as soft tissue injury and infection on skin. And next one will be mangosteen. It is obtained from mangostina plant, which is mainly used in hair growth and hair tanning products. And this also hibiscus rosa sinensis. This also has been used for the hair treatment regimen. It may result in healthy hair, increasing the hair volume, and slowing down the graying hair process and reducing hair loss. So we have so many medicinal plants, including the henna. It can be used for in olden days. Even in our village, people still they are practicing in using henna for skin repairing activities. But we are not coming up into the product. So as a researcher and innovators from pharmacy, those are doing natural products, we can consider all these kind of medicinal plants to include as a one of the ingredients in the cosmetic preparations. So coming to the conclusions of my presentation, so I have been covered in my first part about research, about especially about in silico studies and metabolomic studies. And the second part, I have been covered about innovations and what is the importance of innovation, how we can convert the innovative products, how we can do the collaboration with other faculties to make a product that we have been discussed. So in silico studies normally in the natural products strengthen the drug development platform. So this has been used to predict the pharmacological studies, pharmacological activities of the isolated compound as well as the plant extract without using experimental animals. And metabolomics has the potential to identify the toxicity early in the drug discovery process, which can save time and money for pharmaceutical companies. So here in the metabolomic studies, we can more study about the metabolites and toxicity profile of the compounds. And the second part I have been covered about innovation. So innovations using natural products plays a major role for entrepreneurship in pharmacy practice or education and will assist in establishing a pharmacist entrepreneur. So we are producing pharmacists, but we are not producing pharmacist entrepreneur. So after completion of their pharmacy course, even though instead of searching for job, so if they know something how to make some kind of product, something like this innovative product, so they can start up with some kind of business and they can create more job opportunities to others instead of searching job on their own. So faculty members, those are interested in incorporating entrepreneurship education in schools and colleges, especially from the pharmacy backgrounds, can implement the innovation culture among students. So we ask the students to do more on research, but we need to innovate the culture of innovation culture among our students, because our students are very talented and they are more creative as well. So if you ask them to come up with some creative idea, definitely they can come up with some ideas. And later you need to sit with them and you need to do some kind of brainstorming. Brainstorming means you need to sit together and you have to discuss how that product, that idea can be converted into a prototype and whether that product is, how it is going to be useful to the public. because you need to check the customer satisfaction. So because if you come up with some product which don't have many customers, for example, then that product may not be survive in long period of time in the market. So market strategy also very important when you convert into a innovative products. So this is what I want to say from my presentation. So natural products, some in between from the ancient times, natural products plays a major role in coming up with many drug molecules. But in between synthetic, they take over and they many synthetic molecules has come up, and nowadays the trend again going back to the natural products. So we are going back to the uh, future against with the natural products. So, and we need to create our pharmacists as a job creators. So this is what I want to give my final conclusion. So this is some of the awards which has been received in the international level for our innovative products. So just I am highlighting these all done by the undergraduate students, not by the postgraduate students. So this is some of the awards that we have been received in the international platform. Okay, with that, I would like to thank for listening. So I hope that my presentation may be helpful. Those are interested in doing innovation in natural products, and I have given some idea about metabolomics and also the in silico studies that you can practice in future. So with that, thank you very much to everyone. So now I can hand over the session to the organizer to proceed to the next session. Thank you very much.